It looks like I'm embroiled in a TikTok beef with Chappell Roan. Let's talk about it. By the way, I'm KJ Miller. I am a founder, a lecturer, and a content creator. I love talking about all things business and pop culture. If you like any of that, be sure to subscribe. Now let's get into it. Now, first of all, let me just address, I know I look like I just got out of bed. I did not just get out of bed. In fact, I've been up since about 5 a.m. running around doing a million different things. Today's my wedding anniversary and I have places to be, but it's become a little bit of a ritual of mine once I'm embroiled in some sort of beef over on TikTok to come over here to YouTube and talk about it. And, let's let the ritual continue. But because I do have places to be, we're going to get right on to the point and get right on out. First and foremost, if you have no idea what I'm referring to, I will do my best to remember to link the videos that I made over on TikTok about Chappell Roan, but here's the synopsis. She gave an interview in The Guardian in which she said there are problems on both sides when referring to Trump and Kamala. Obviously, a lot of people took issue with that and called her out. She then hopped up on TikTok and made a video saying, no, I'm not fucking voting for Trump, but basically doubling down. There are problems on both sides and y'all aren't thinking critically and you fell for clickbait and basically just yelling at everybody, so I made a quick video basically saying, girl, you got about one more good time to get on this app and talk down to your fans because the jig is about to be up. And I consider myself a fan, at least of her music, if not of her. Why are you yelling at us? You received a very valid critique. That was video number 1. She woke up, made another video, again, yelling at everybody because they didn't like that first video. And so I made a second video basically explaining, girl, this is why we are here. We are here because you are very bad at communicating. You've done a poor job. That's nobody's fault but your own. So on and so forth. Like I said, I'll link the videos. So now let me just say a few things to address some of what's coming up in the comments. First of all, the vast majority of people in the comment section are agreeing with me. And of course they are. All right. Equivocating between Trump and Kamala is silly, and yelling at your fans is offensive. I don't have more to say on that, but I will try to address some of the other comments coming up. One such idea that keeps coming up is, why are we putting so much into what celebrities are saying? Why do we care? It doesn't matter. I really, really hate when people say that. And honestly, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Don't pay any attention to the celebrities. If you don't care about what these celebrities are saying, you don't have to listen. You don't have to engage with it. You don't have to care about it. But why are you trying to police who I care about and what I listen to? Am I not allowed to have an opinion on what somebody is saying with their platform? And I hate people who are basically saying oh, you guys shouldn't be letting how these celebrities vote dictate how you vote. Who's doing that? Who's doing that? Is anybody doing that? Is anybody really saying, I will only make a decision on how I vote when I hear from Chappell Roan of all people? Nobody is saying that, okay? I don't think. But I do think when you have a big platform, you have influence. It doesn't mean that somebody's tying their vote to yours, but it does mean it becomes one more data point as someone is making their decision, particularly the undecideds. And I don't know who's still undecided at this day and time, but apparently somebody is, because both Trump and Kamala are still going after the undecided voter. So she's somewhere. And if she's somewhere listening to Chappell Roan, yeah, I have a thought. So if you think we just simply should not listen to celebrities, keep thinking it. Keep thinking it and don't listen to them. I get to do what I want to do. All right, so that's thought number 1. Thought number 2, and this has come up so many times, people saying, I agree with Chappell because there are problems on both sides. No doy. I mean, my God, are we kindergartners? Nobody thinks that our political system is perfect. Nobody thinks that Kamala Harris is a perfect candidate. She is not Christ. She is a politician. She's an imperfect person in an imperfect political system. The fact that y'all are dragging your feet and screaming and whining because she's not perfect is silly. It's child's play. We are adults. Let the adults in the room talk about what it means to make progress, because politics is not about perfection. It's about progress. And the people who are whining and screaming about the fact that Kamala isn't perfect, please do it somewhere else. Go form a club with the other people who are children and don't understand that the work of politics is to move the needle in a positive direction. It's not to get everything right all at once. Let the adults who understand that do what we do. And go cry in a corner if that's what you need to go do. And to be clear, I'm addressing the people who are saying either they're not going to vote or they're going to vote third party. I think that's childish. I think you're throwing away rights that people worked very hard for you to secure, and I don't have patience for it. Now, to the people who aren't being extremists and saying, I'm not going to vote or I'm going to vote third party, but are still saying, well, she has a point because she's going to vote for Kamala, but she's not excited about it. And she's allowed to voice that. Yes, she is. Absolutely, she is. But let's just start off with the fact that that is not where she started. Again, how did we get here today? We got here today because she said there are problems on both sides and did not offer to clarify which of these sides has worse problems, because one side does, okay? Particularly for the LGBT community. One side has way bigger problems. And so if you don't say that, then you are equivocating. Had she just started by saying, I'm throwing my support and my vote behind Kamala Harris because I know that that is the choice that will result in the least amount of harm for myself and for my community. Not because I think that she is doing a perfect job and not because I agree with all of her policies. There were a million different ways she could have said that. That's not what she said, okay? So I understand, I very much understand if you are being an adult and making an adult choice, but you still want to hold Kamala's feet to the fire because you don't agree with all of her policies. You don't agree with how the Biden-Harris administration has handled Israel and the war in Gaza. You don't agree with everything that they've ever said with regards to trans rights. Okay, that's fair. And we can be adults and talk about how we need to continue moving forward and continue progressing. I agree with you there, but if you're trying to use that argument to defend Chappell, then you need to make that argument to Chappell, because that's not what she did. She got up on the internet and equivocated and then yelled at everybody for pointing it out. That's facts. The final thing I'm going to say on this is a lot of her fans are jumping up in people's comments, my comments, and a lot of other people's, basically saying that we're being mean to her or hostile to her. All I want to know is, what is she being? If we're being mean, what is she being? Because she's literally yelling and cursing and saying that people lack critical thinking skills and disrespecting Vice President Kamala Harris by mispronouncing her name, which is a microaggression, which is disrespectful. For somebody who has done the research, it's also very confusing. What is she being if not hostile? If you're going to give hostility, you have to expect to receive it. You simply do. You can't get on the internet mad and attacking people and then get upset when they attack you. And by the way, I personally don't think any of my videos have been attacking, but I do think they've been direct, which is something that I am. I am a direct person. I think they've been clarifying, which is something she could use. A little clarity, a media training class or two. I know it's never fun when your fave is getting dragged by the internet, but in this case, I think she has earned the dragging. And I think if she would just sit down and reflect for a minute, put the phone down for a second and reflect on how we got here, I think she might see that too. Anywho, I still enjoy her music, but it is becoming a little bit more difficult to want to hit play on Good Luck Babe and Pink Pony Club and Casual and all the jams I've been loving, because I'm just like, do I want to give her this stream when she's out here yelling at us like like she hates us? I don't know, but we'll see. She is young. She's still an adult, to be clear. Some of y'all are acting like she's 15. She's a full-fledged adult, but she is young. Maybe she'll learn. Maybe she'll grow. Maybe she'll evolve. Let's all keep our fingers crossed. Pretty much that's all I have to say about it. I wish her well. I wish all of you well. Get out to the polls. Do your part. Let's get Kamala elected. And if you like this sort of content, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.